Hey guys, so I wanted to do something different for today's video. I kind of wanted to show you into the world of a wedding planner, since that is what my everyday job is. And I do wedding and elopement planning. I do travel. I do have weddings all over the US. I kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I do and a little bit about what I do to help brides. So today's feature is gonna be the wedding day emergency survival kit. This will fit perfectly under the seat in front of you, and so it is the perfect size. My bag is by London Fog, and this is the size. It looks huge in the screen, but it's actually pretty small, I guess depth wise. It is a little bit heavy, but I always encourage that people pack in the travel sizes just so that you can fit more, and you know, you're not going to use a whole product travel size in one wedding. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So as you can see, this is the bag. It is just a nice little travel size. The really great thing about this bag in particular is because it has this that actually extends all the way up, and you can easily reach it and mobile wheel it around wherever you need to. So I really like that feature. It's another reason why I picked this bag. I kind of wanted purple because it's feminine, but I also really liked that it had this as well. So I know I had mentioned it before, but this also has a ton of pockets. It has a pocket on the very front. It has a pocket right here that you can store some things in. I actually don't have anything in this top pocket or this front pocket. It has a pocket on each side, which I will show you what is in those in a minute. If you go from the top, this entire piece folds out, which is so nice. You're gonna find that you would really like that you can be fully accessible to everything inside of it, so that's another reason why I picked this. I did want to go through this bag with you guys and kind of show you every little item that I have. I know that it's packed so beautifully right now, but let's be real, I just packed it really nice for the video. We'll start first with the front flap and just kind of go through what I keep here, work our way into the body, and then onto the sides. Okay, so first in the bag, we have this first zipper. I try to keep the more toiletry kind of items in this first zipper. I have floss, I have Kleenexes, I have eyelash glue, hair ties, bobby pins, and I actually keep this in a pack that opens pretty nicely and keeps them all together. I just find this really easy, and this is Conair. I will have everything linked in the description below, but just so you know, this is Conair, and it's this nice pack that you can get online. I ordered this on Amazon. I have fake nail glue. I have eye drops. I choose to use TheraTears. It's really up to you. It's whatever your preference is. Oil blotting sheets, and this is just really useful for the bride who maybe has some very oily skin and wants to make sure that she is not too oily for her photos, so this is really good to have as well. I like to have individually wrapped makeup wipes, and as a wedding planner, you kind of start to realize that while people may appreciate you bringing certain items for them to use, they will certainly overuse it if they haven't paid for it. You know, this is included in the fee that the bride pays for or her parents pay for my services, but when it comes to a bridesmaid, they are just gonna like pull out those makeup wipes out of a pack. So I typically find that they will be a little bit more intentional with what they use if I have the individually wrapped packs. So this is what I choose to bring. Last, in the toiletries section, I like to have razors. Okay, moving on to the second flap. This is just where I keep some knicky-knacky things that I'm not entirely sure where they should go. So I first have a neutral lipstick. We use these, we actually have some swabs that we use so that the brides aren't just spreading germs through everybody. I chose to put Milani, and this is in the shade 61 Matte Naked. I find that it's a beautiful neutral shade, and it suits anybody and everybody. So this is what I choose to put in as my nude lipstick. Pack of buttons, and so I keep buttons just because you never know, somebody's button is gonna fall off their dress at some point. I always have hem tape It's important to have hem tape. You never know, like I said, whose hem is going to come undone and what you might need to do. I always get adjustable, that way that I can move it, or the family member who is doing it can move it. I keep a full pack of emery boards, and these I actually just found off of Amazon. I keep them in this box that they came shipped in, and this is just a nail file so that if something happens that, you know, we have emery boards for them to use. I have a tweezer. This one actually is the brand Laura Ashley, and they have been quite loved. We will end up probably needing to get a new one pretty soon. It's sturdy, it's metal, it's definitely not plastic. I wanted to get something that was gonna last a long time. Last but certainly not least, gum. Gum is super important. I feel like gum is what we go through the most and the fastest. Everybody is asking for a piece of gum. Everybody wants fresh breath. This is what we choose to do. I don't like to go with breath mints just because there's flavor differences and some people don't like breath mints, so I opted to go with gum. So moving on to this netted area on the front, this is also kind of like a catch-all for me. This is where we start to get into some medium-sized items that not necessarily need to be in the body because they're not huge, but they definitely won't fit in the front. So we'll just start pulling these out. I keep these antiperspirant wipes. These are by the brand La Fresh, and I just like to keep these in here, that way nobody's sharing a deodorant stick. So I just find this is the most hygienic and the easiest way to pack antiperspirants. I have a phone charger. This is actually something that I just bought. I'm finding that people typically forget to bring their phone charger and then they're on their phone all day, especially if you start getting ready at 8 o'clock in the morning. Your phone's gonna die before your wedding at 6 o'clock that night. So I like to bring this. It actually has a USB, so this is where you can charge it into one of the little wall plugs. Pretty easy, and it has an end for all different kinds of phones, and it actually has 2 ends here for iPhone, and then it has this universal and the Android. Always with the Q-tips. Here's a little something special. I don't know if every wedding planner has this or not, but I like to keep a couple of different bow diamond earrings. Just that way, they're pretty cheap. They're not expensive in any way. They look kind of nicely packaged, right? But they are just some nice diamond earrings in case somebody forgets them, whether that be the bridesmaid or the bride. But I typically find that these are really, really useful to have because somebody's gonna forget their earrings. I do have 2 different kinds of lotions. This is actually a really small, cute lotion I just like to keep in the bag here. Tums. Tums are really important, especially when it's a high stress situation. A lot of people have acid reflux if they're eating bad or ate bad the night before on their bachelorette party, things like that, or for the groom or groomsmen. But I always like to keep Tums. And then Gorilla Glue. It's, you know, you're gonna end up using some super glue at some point, so you might as well have it. Another really great thing about this bag is this part actually zips down, so you can unzip it completely from the side and it folds back, which is so nice. So you can really get into everything that's in here in the body of your bag. As of right now, I don't use this space. So kind of getting into these items, I first have all-day allergy pills, which I still have in the bag because it's just now allergy season, so nobody has used the allergy pills from this year yet. But I always keep allergy medicine, a non-drowsy allergy medicine. It's super important to have that. You never know, somebody's gonna have an outside wedding and the bridesmaid forgot hers, things like that. So always like to have that. Static guard. This is important as well. Bridesmaids' dresses are infamous for clinging, especially if they're satin, they're gonna cling. So it's really important to have your static guard. Advil. I keep a full bottle of Advil in here just because this is one of those items that I really feel like I don't want to have to get away with a travel size. You never know who's going to have a headache. If you have all the bridesmaids and all of the groomsmen who have a headache, it's not going to fit in that nice little skinny travel tube. So I generally bring an entire bottle of Advil. Band-Aids. So I like to get the clear Band-Aids, and I get the pack with multiple different sizes and different uses. This is gonna be waterproof. It's gonna be a lot less noticeable. This is why I get the clear strip ones. But Band-Aids definitely. Pedialyte. Notice I've mentioned drunk people a few times. Pedialyte will certainly come in handy. I get the powder packs that they can choose from. This is a variety pack, has a couple of different flavors, and I find this really useful, especially when people have been drinking. Bottom of the bag, we have some pins that can kind of hold things in place, and then I have safety pins, and I just keep these in here because they're sharp objects and I don't want them to just pop open and land in the bottom of the bag. Sunscreen, and we all also know Neutrogena sunscreen is really great for a sunscreen highlight. I do like the Neutrogena brand. It does not smell like sunscreen, not this one in particular, and it smells almost like a perfume. So if a bride ends up needing this for her outdoor wedding, it's gonna smell good, it's not gonna stink, it's not gonna smell like she's coconut butter at the beach. So I prefer this brand, and I also like to have 45 just to make sure that she's covered. Cough drops. Especially in cold seasons, cough drops are super, super important and essential for a wedding day emergency kit. People come up all the time with sore throats, so this is going to be really helpful, especially if you're worried about them coughing during the ceremony. Last but not least, I have disposable underwear. So these are in a couple of different sizes. They go from small to large, all the way maybe even to extra large, I believe. But I always like to get disposable underwear. I choose them in white because if the bride has to use it or bridesmaids have to use it, I like to have the disposable underwear there for them to use. You never know what's gonna happen. Somebody could start their period. It's just really important to have something that they can kind of change into. Okay, so zipping this back up, we will move on to the sides. They do kind of open up. They have a clear section here, so if you wanted to stick a liquid, something that might possibly leak or bust open, not that you want to buy anything like that, but it happens. So I typically would encourage anything that you wouldn't want to leak, have on this side. Here is where I have CeraVe on the mesh side. This is almost a full bottle. It's the smallest full bottle you can buy. It's unscented, and so this is just really easy for everybody to use. I do keep wrinkle release, so I choose to use Downy. It smells really, really great. It's super easy to use, and it will obviously release wrinkles. And then the last thing on this side, I like to carry tampons. I choose to buy the sport tampons just because they're gonna be a little bit more movable. And so I bring super, super plus and regular. I have a couple here. Just what I find that brides typically will use the most of. So for this side, we have another kind of mesh, except this one has mesh on both sides for this one. First, I have a couple of Tide to Go pins. I do like to bring multiple of these just so that multiple people can use it. If somebody ruins one, there's another. I have a full bottle of nail polish remover. This is the smallest that I could buy while still having a full size, not travel size. So I do have nail polish remover. And then last but not least, I have hairspray. And that's just so that a bride can kind of touch up what she might need to touch up for her hair. If, like I said earlier, if you get your makeup done at 8 o'clock in the morning, it will move before your wedding at 6. So I do like to have hairspray for brides to use. I hope that you really enjoyed and could find a use for this, especially if you're planning to be a wedding planner or want to be a wedding coordinator. I hope that this helps you guys figure out some things you maybe wouldn't have thought about that you might definitely want to make sure that you have on your wedding day or have in your wedding day kit. Thank you for watching my video. I really enjoyed getting to show you guys what I have in my wedding day emergency kit, and I really hope that it helps you guys out, whether you're a bride or a wedding planner looking to build her kit and to start from scratch. And so I hope this gave you some good ideas of some things that you might want to have in your bag. I really, really enjoyed filming this. I would love to do more like it. Please give me a like if you'd like to see more videos. I would love to do more like what is a wedding planner and what is a wedding coordinator, because they are very two different things. So if you guys would like to see more content relevant to event planning, please give me a thumbs up. I would love to film some more videos like this. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out, guys. I hope you have a great week. Stay safe. We're all in quarantine together. Love you guys. Bye.